Hello, this is Avish Parashar from SpeakingExpert.com. You know, networking and building relationships is a great way to build a speaking business. Many of my leads come from word of mouth and from people who know me and we refer each other business. However, this video today is about how not to do it. I want to share with you an example of how not to reach out and try to build a relationship with somebody. See, a few years ago, I was president of my National Speakers Association chapter. And as such, my name was on the website. So speakers would often call me and say, hey, can I get some advice, or I'm interested in becoming a speaker. And my commitment was that even though I offer this as kind of a service, working with speakers, that for that year, anyone who contacted me through the Speakers Association, I would take the time to talk to them on the phone or in person to give them whatever advice that I could. I felt that was my duty as the president of the association. So this one woman calls me up and we set up a time to talk on the phone. And turns out she has a great story. I don't want to go into it because I don't want to give you specifics because I don't want to badmouth anyone. But she had a really good story. It was very unique, and I thought she could really turn that into some marketing. So I listened to her. I gave her some advice. I said, here's some places you could go, and here's what you can do. And we talked for a while. And she asked me about speakers bureaus, who, if you don't know, these are like agencies that people having events will contact them, and then they'll find them a speaker. And for speakers, this is often considered the holy grail, because you get listed and then the bureau does all the work. It's a lot more complicated than that, but that's a topic of another video. But she was asking about the bureaus, and she was saying that, well, she was having trouble getting in because she didn't have video yet. She just needed to get some gigs, and none of the bureaus would take a chance on her because they couldn't see her speak. I said, I understand that. Here's kind of what you want to do. Start at this level and move up. Well, then it came towards the end of the conversation. And of course, even though my only contact with her was over the phone, and I had already given about 45 minutes of my time and advice and everything I could to help her, she says, well, are there times maybe that you can give me, do you have any leads you can give me? And that's always a weird question to get asked because, no, A, I'm doing pretty well as a speaker, but it's not like I have thousands of leads. And B, I don't know anything about this woman either. I didn't have her video. I had never seen her speak. And frankly, I didn't even have a relationship with her. I just had a 45-minute conversation. Now, if I knew someone who's looking for someone just like her, I probably would have connected them. And I said that to her. I said, well, not really. I'm not sure. And then she kept pushing. She said, well, if you could just give me some leads, you're this big speaker, you're so successful, and if you could just give me some leads to help me out. And now I'm thinking the same thing those bureaus were saying to her, which is, well, I haven't seen you speak either. And what's very important here is when you refer someone, it's your reputation on the line. So I have friends in the speaking industry who I've seen speak and I know them well. And I also have people who I'm not really friends with, but I know their material. And I will pass referrals on to both of those people because I know they do good work. I'm willing to put my reputation on the line. This woman didn't really understand that. She was almost begging me for some leads. And it felt kind of bad, obviously. And I said, well, if I can think of anyone. But all I knew is I felt very uncomfortable, and I felt like I was being sucked dry just for leads. And, I've never spoken to that woman again. We didn't build a relationship, and nothing came of it. And that's the lesson. Real relationships that are going to lead to referrals, that are going to lead to ongoing business, that are going to lead to great advice and feedback, and someone you can call up when you have a question, and someone you can show some of your speaking material to get feedback. That's going to come from time. Build relationships first before you start trying to suck things from the other person. So if you have the fortunate ability to chat with someone who's an experienced speaker, who gives their time of you, don't then try to plead with them to give you leads. Ask them, how can I help you? Thanks for your time. I love the advice. What can I do for you? 99% of the time, they're going to say, hey, no worries. I'm just giving back. They might ask for a little something, and that's fine. And then stay in touch with that person over time. Go to events where they're going to be at, make conversation. But the minute you instantly turn to a sales relationship, you start building a friendship, mentoring, partnering relationship. And you have to decide what you want. If you think you can suck that person dry in the first meeting and they'll give you leads and you can benefit in the long run from that, more power to you. In my experience, it comes from a long-term relationship. Take the time, be nice, be polite, and build something for the long term. So thanks for watching. Again, this was Avish Parashar from SpeakingExpert.com. For more videos, articles, tips, and advice, as well as the free PDF ebook report, 7 steps to getting your paid speaking work in the next 90 days, check out SpeakingExpert.com.